Hey YouTube. So I've got a 1/4-inch end mill in the drill chuck, and I have a piece of really crappy 15mm shaft. I would have to machine it down to some smaller size for it to be useful. So this is a great thing to screw around with because the shaft is only 15mm on the end, but in the middle it's like 14.5 or something. Somebody screwed up the inside portion of it and went, oh well, the ends are still good, so we'll just hide that in the middle of the motor. Anyway, completely useless piece of motor shaft as a result. So this is something that I've never been able to do before, and frankly I don't know if I can do it now. But there is still a skosh of movement in here, but man, it is almost completely gone. And before, with everything how I set up, there was movement in here that I had yet to zero out, and now it is just almost completely gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plunge a hole in the end of this shaft, and then I'm going to start spinning, and I'm going to start taking down to the outside wall so we can see how much run out I have there. If there's a lot, that outside wall, when I've just got a hollow cup inside, is going to be thick on one side, thin on the rest. So I have the gear ratio set on 3100 RPMs, or the belt ratio I guess, and I am ready to roll. The first thing I'm going to do is a plunge, and then after that I'm going to lock it down at that depth and start milling a hole out. So here we go. I didn't set my 0 point on my dial indicator. I have no idea how far down I went. So that's going to be 0 right there. Just give me a second here to get myself situated. There we go. There is 0. So I can tell you this much. I have never been able to do a plunge cut into anything other than like plastic ever before on this setup. There was just simply too much movement up here that wouldn't allow that to happen. And you saw it right there on camera. That was really good. So anyway, I've got my 0 point set, and I went down minus 40 thousandths conveniently. So we're going to lock it right there at minus 40 thousandths. And I'm going to lock both sets of screws here so that I get the most stability possible. So I've got to do one with an Allen key and the other one with my thumb screw. And I'll switch the other one over to a thumb screw later on. But that's what I have at the moment. So I am bottomed out. Yeah, everything spins freely. And let's spin her up, and I'm going to start wallowing away the walls. Yeah, it's not shattering or anything. Really good. This would have been impossible before. It would have never worked. What I'm doing right now. So the mill would have self-destructed by now. It would have eaten everything. And instead I'm wallowing out a hole. I could probably go a lot faster. Well, a little bit of chatter in there. Yeah, a little bit. Not bad. Very controllable though. It would have just destroyed itself already before. Okay, so I've gone a full 360 degrees, and I was doing it at the worst possible place. So in a previous video, I explained where the wobble and movement was in my quill assembly, and it was left to right, not front to back, which is where I had the most movement. And this whole entire time I've been cutting on the front surface, which is effectively left to right cutting. And you heard a little bit of chatter, but it wasn't bad. So anyway, now I'm going to reposition here, roll back a little bit, and come over to the side. So now I'm going to be cutting on this side of the cutter over here, which is going to be essentially front to back cutting. And this time I'm going to do it with the drill, because doing it by hand is a pain in the neck. It'll go a lot quicker. Going backwards. Okay, now I'm going to take a better cut. Getting some chatter. Another pass. Yeah, that's very controllable chatter. So you may have noticed something that I did there. That was a no-no. The mill was up against a surface that it was just skimming by as it was slowing down. This is a great way to shatter a mill. Don't do that. Back your mill off from whatever you're cutting on before you start shutting off. So don't do what I just did. All right, so let me blow the metal bits out. All right, so I have a really nice, consistent wall all the way around. It is paper thin on every surface. There is, I can see it because I can see the light reflecting off the edge of it. Right here, let me turn around here just to make sure that's not light just everywhere. Nope, that's it really. So yeah, right here, it is ever so slightly of a knife edge thicker than it is, say, like over here. I mean, the difference is the noise in the system. So I'm going to call this an unqualified success. That is absolutely brilliantly close to just as dead on as I can possibly make it. And maybe that might not even be my system. Maybe my shaft, because I'm partly clamped down on that buggered section of it, that might be just the outer round